Oh, I'm not prepared. This is how I flow in my life. Is that what we're doing right now? Let me gather myself.
They look so much better on you than they look on me. They look right on you, and I look like I
A
am
bug.
going to aviator school.
You look like a bug.
Yes.
They're bug glasses, though. And bees are, I mean, I can't even go into all the details because I don't remember them.
Get me out of your nose. Yes.
Since we are bringing ourselves into this meeting, we're going to call in our full spirits.
Full soul, full
Full
spirit.
soul. I'm going to light the Paleo Santo.
You love it so much.
I love the way it smells.
Have a sip of your coffee. We both made delicious coffees. We are ready. I'm also very impressed by you because I have 2 extra hours to prepare myself for this, and I just barely was ready, and you're ready to go.
Oh, I'm not prepared. This is how I flow in my life. Is that what we're doing right now? Let me gather myself. Call my soul in.
I'm
Call it in.
ready.
We need to be here now.
All right. Okay,
Okay.
welcome back. Episode 2, Living
We
Magic.
are really getting this down.
We showed up again. Look at us. We're committed.
2 times in a row. That's really good for me.
It is
What?
really good.
What?
And I think also what was very fun was that we recorded last week's episode and then we were so pumped and jazzed. And we've been talking about all the other things we can talk about and all the things we can do with this. So it feels very motivating and
100%.
like, yes, it's a big yes all over.
I'm so interested in going straight into the vortex because I'm so excited.
Okay, let's describe the vortex. Because last week in the first episode, we kept saying, let's go into the vortex, let's go out of the vortex, but we didn't explain what we were doing at all. And there may be some people who aren't actually watching and are just listening. And so they're like, what is going on? So, Kyla, what's the vortex?
Oh, I'm so excited to tell you about it. Okay, so um, we did this trip in the fall that we planned for birthdays of our children where we met in Florida. And I woke up the morning of the trip so sick, like so sick that I was like, I might have to cancel this trip. So I
Yep.
feel like there's some judgment here because I didn't cancel it. There could be judgment, and I just don't care. I got on that plane and I probably got the whole plane sick, and I'm sorry about that. I apologize, but it doesn't matter. But here's the point. I mean, it does matter to somebody down the road, but I think, I helped with develop their immune systems.
You got me sick and I'm okay with it.
I got everybody sick. Okay.
Yes.
And
But first you called me and you were like, okay, we need to go to the airport. I am very sick. What what do we do? What do you want to do? And I was like, well, we're going. You should come too.
so you're actually taking responsibility for my decision to
No.
arrive. No, I'm kidding.
But what I said was, I don't want you not to come for us. Like, I don't want you not to come because you're worried about getting us sick. Like, I'm willing to take that risk. One, my children will murder me if I don't
Yeah.
go. If I say sorry, we're not doing this trip, it just wouldn't have happened.
No, I know. We would have had such disappointed children. Anyhow, we arrive almost the same time at the airport and get in line. And I think you looked at me and you're like, you're dying. And I was like, kind of.
You looked you looked rough that day. That's true. But
But I came and I'll bring out our original glasses. And I had a gift bag for both of us and for the kids, but they had different ones in there. And these were the glasses. And I just wore these to cover my sickness, and it worked. And I would be like, uh-oh, I gotta enter the vortex. And I put them on and I feel so much better. Also, people cannot see my eyes and tell how sick I really am. But I got so much better while we were there because you worked your magic on me. And
mhm.
then you had to wear the vortex glasses. And then we would just go out and vortex together because it was like entering another dimension.
It was like every time we put those glasses on, because you gave me the same pair. So we had the same pair of glasses, and we would be
Right.
like, we had 4 kids between the two of us. Someone was sick at every point along the way. It was staggered, but like everybody was sick at some point. And so it was just like, okay, stuff is getting tricky. This is a little dicey. Let's enter the vortex. And it was like everything smoothed out and we were
Mhm.
fine and we could handle it. And I think we just sort of stopped caring as much when we put the vortex glasses on too.
Well, and when you're like stepping into something fun, like we kind of talked about, this is going to sound like a dig on our husbands, but it would have been more difficult with them. In fact, we would have just canceled the trip because I just feel like as a mom, you're like, I know this is going to be hard and I'm going to do it anyway. You know, like I know it's going to be hard, but it will be easier if I'm with you. Like it could be hard by myself. And that's what my sister said. She was like, so you can be miserable here or you could be miserable in Florida. What sounds better? I was like, miserable in Florida.
I know. And it actually was really beautiful because it was like we were staggered. Like you were sick at the beginning and I got sick at the end and we like tag teamed. And like when you got there and you were so sick, I was like, get in the bath. I'm going to take the kids to dinner. Just do what you need to do to take care of yourself. And then on the last day, I was struggling and you were like making a bath for me. And it was just lovely. I feel like we gave and we received and it was great
It was
and
great
hard.
and hard, and we had the Vortex to help us along, which was phenomenal because we didn't like not drink or not have sugar, which are two
No,
things I would normally do if I'm that sick. I was like, I have to go to the Vortex now so I can enjoy this cocktail
exactly.
full of Jerry.
And know that it's going to make me feel real bad in about 2 hours.
Awful after this. And I'm gonna use these Vortex glasses to make myself happy again.
Yes. So those were the glasses that we were wearing last week. Whenever we said we were entering the vortex, we were putting the original vortex glasses on.
Right. And today
Go ahead. Tell me more.
we're gonna practice magic because we bought a plethora of Vortex glasses. We worked together to choose. Now I just want to have like thousands of pairs, but we only have 12,
I only
8.
have eight. I only
I have
have eight.
8. I have
You have 12.
12. Yours are coming back. Anyway, we have 8 of the same. So we're going to try to guess. We're going to use magic. We're going to tap in. I have 2 pairs.
Me
I
too.
You do? Okay. So I have 2 pairs. And I'm like, I want to wear those, but I think that she's gonna choose these.
This is what I'm saying is that like it is a hard magic to do because it's normally like, oh, just like let me pick the one that's right. But I'm also picking like what I think that Kyla might like these. But there are two that are like clearly jumping out to me.
All right.
Are you ready to enter the
Okay. I'm
vortex?
so ready. Okay.
I have to
I'm
put my
gonna
head down.
I want to go down. Leaving the vortex.
Entering.
Entering the vortex.
Oh, I did like those.
Okay, well, that's the pair that that was my like other pair, but it's actually not the other pair that I chose. Yeah, but I did think those would be great for my party I need to go to this weekend. I'm totally taking them and wearing them with my outfit.
Those are
See,
fabulous. Those cat
I
eye
s-
ones on you though.
sent you the wrong ones. Well, we could just stick with this and just be wrong.
Well, I
Or,
was just anticipating like she's going to be wearing these. I know that.
and I
I
am.
predicted it.
I'm gonna wear them this weekend.
Right, exactly. I was just seeing into the future.
Let's talk about what they look like. So if you're just listening, so Catherine has on this glorious pink pair with pink lenses and pink outsides, and they're shaped like a bow tie, and they're gigantic,
They're gigantic.
and I love
And
them.
Kyla has on a lovely set of orange cat eye glasses with
Mhm.
large jewels on the top and very small jewels along the bottom. And they're
They're like
fabulous.
sexy librarian glasses, like sexy librarian
Librarian.
with librarian with flair. Okay,
And as you see, once we enter, the attitude changes a little
it
bit
totally
once you enter the
changes.
vortex. Okay.
So we could stick with these, or we could show the other pair. What?
Well, what if the other pair is a joint pair and that's actually then the sign that that's the one we're supposed to be wearing today?
Okay, and if we get it wrong, this is really funny. We're just gonna keep trying every day. Okay, exit the vortex.
Oh, it is a different color when you take those off. Okay.
It's a totally different color. Okay, I'm
This is
putting
going to
them
be
on.
really enthralling to people who are audio listeners.
Are you like off the screen? Because I'm coming back in. I want you to have your glasses on.
I'm
In
ready.
1, 2, 3.
I shouldn't have screamed. I just screamed right in the microphone. This is it. This is the
Oh,
one.
that is hilarious. This was actually my first pick, and the orange were my second pick, but I was like, oh, but I really like those orange ones.
It,
See,
these are it.
Okay, well, this is the vortex today.
And these are just like like bug eye.
They're just bug eyes with diamonds all around and they're dark, so you can't see your eyes, which is really more, if you're using the vortex, I mean, it's better for us to have glasses you can see through when we're trying to be professional. But when you're entering the vortex, dark is where it's at. Okay, I'm so glad we decided to show our second pick,
Me
which was
too. They
really
look so much better on you than they look on me. They look right on you, and I look like I
a
am
bug.
going to
You
aviator
look like
school.
you look like a bug.
Yes,
They're bug glasses though.
but they don't look like a bug on you.
I don't know why I can wear glasses. I just, only ones that don't look good on me are like really teeny itsy bitsy ones, like the
Yeah,
little, then
yeah.
I look too much like a mad scientist. So are we going to do some follow-up questions from last?
Let's do our topic today, which is core values, and then we'll do the follow up at the end. Let's get
I
into
told you
it.
I was going to print out a core values thing and I didn't.
I got it. Yeah, we should back up. Okay, so this is a core values list. We wanted to share about core values today because understanding your core values can help you be more in your magic. Like it will help you be more aligned in everything that you're doing in your life, which helps you feel better, which allows more flow and less magic in.
Well, and I feel like when I was introduced to the core values, it was like when I was being really indecisive in my life. So it's like, okay, if you can't decide, then you go to your core values and it's like, does this align with my value? And if it does, then it makes it easier to make a decision from that place.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And we got it from Brene Brown's website. I'll put the PDF in the show notes. And she says to narrow it down to two, which I did, but I also have four. So,
Oh, I could do two.
all right.
See, then I have to like categorize in my head a little bit when I get as low as two. Um, two is hard, but I could do it. I could
Okay.
do it right now.
Do it. What are your two or three? I'm okay with.
Love, love, joy. I would say is family on there? Is that a core
Family
value?
is on there. Hmm.
So family has to be like for me, family and love is one thing, or family goes into love, or love goes into family. So, for example, when I was doing this with my husband in our How to Be a Better Parent coach, um, and we had to do core values together, it was kind of like, well, family's just assumed that's you're here for your family.
Oh,
So then we got to pick another core value.
okay.
And kind of the same with love. Love is just assumed because you're here because you love each other. If I had to, I could just say love and joy if I only get to have two because I could put my family in that love compartment. Okay, what are your two? Two is not that much.
Two is very little. And I I did have family, but I also had love in the short list. And I was sort of like, oh, but family, when if I was being forced to choose between family and love, family just stood out to me more as it. So I picked it.
Okay.
And then the other one was balance,
Oh,
which I found very interesting because it didn't, I don't know if this happens to you, but I've done lots of sort of assessments like this where like in my corporate job where you would do like strengths finders test or your Myers-Briggs, all of those things. And I always get my results and I'm always like, wah, wah. It's so boring. I'm bored by my own results from these things. And in balance too, I was like, oh, that's not very exciting. But also I recognize I actually love the idea of balance because then you're having fun, but you're also relaxing. You are feeling good, but you also feel the bad sometimes. You're balanced. You are getting a little bit of all of it and never too extreme one way or another. And I feel like in the work that I do, the qigong work that I do, that is fundamentally what I am trying to help people achieve is balance
mm.
within their body, within their soul. It is I love balance. It has a feeling to me that feels like home. So I was like, I have to pick that one.
Well, what's interesting to me is in one of my many clairvoyant sessions, but one of the early ones, and I can't even remember who it was from. Anyway, um, what they told me, this life for you is about balance.
Mm,
Yeah, it's about finding balance. And okay, to back that up, it was kind of like you have spent many lives as a healer. And for some reason, what came straight into mind is like a doctor, nurse in like war times. Like it has been
right.
you, it has sucked a lot.
You've
Like
just
you're,
given all of yourself to it.
yeah. So this one's about finding balance. And she said, and you're a healer in this life too, just in a different way. But you do these, I experience, and she validated like these extremes of like, you're extremely over here, and then you're totally wasted. Like you're just
Right.
no energy left.
Yes. Which
And
also
then,
makes total sense that you do sometimes feel tapped out when you have to care for your sick family too.
I think every mom would feel a little
Ab-
tapped out, but yes.
Absolutely, but it makes sense that that would like echo like, oh, I'm giving all of myself to another. And it does pull you out of that balance. It's interesting.
Right. Or even like in some of my photo work where it was became very heavy about body image and self-care. And I was like caring too much. Like, I can change that for you. And it's like, actually, no.
Hmm.
But that was how I went into it. Like, I have the power to shift this for you.
Yeah.
And it's such the wrong approach. Okay, can I tell you my other word?
Yes.
If we could pick like three or four,
Yeah.
integrity.
I had a hard time crossing integrity off. I very much value integrity. When someone says that they're going to do something and then they don't do it, and then I feel like I can't depend on them, it really can alter my perception of. So I want to believe that I can believe what someone says. And the way to do that, I know, is to be impeccable with my own word. And if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, even though I slip sometimes, obviously.
Oh, I totally slip, or I even make decisions that are out of integrity, which goes back to when you're trying to make these life decisions, is it in integrity? Does that like feel in integrity to do that?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, and then it's always like yes or no, or that is true for me, or is it integrity? Does it have joy? Does it have honor your family? You know, it
Yes.
just makes it so much easier to like sink down into those places just having those words, which is why I think it's so helpful to sit down on a list and identify what they are. And then a really great tool to use with a partner, because then you're like, oh, so there's where we're aligned. And that's when I need, and this other, like, for example, my husband picked, love and family was certainly in his high one. And then the other one that I remember was simplicity. And I remember thinking, huh, that's not high on my list. But I'm going to recognize that
Yeah.
that's high on your list. And how can I help create balance in our life by tuning into that a little bit?
I recognize that too. As I was doing it, I was like, oh, I know my husband's, it's freedom. And it's a bit in conflict with my family. Not that he doesn't value family, but that is a tension, obviously, where you can't have ultimate freedom if you're also bogged down by the demands of a family. And it's good to make note of that. So, another one that I had was health.
Mm, mm,
Because to me,
yes,
I can't take care of my family. I can't be with my family. I can't feel in balance if my body is struggling. And I know that's not true. And I think sometimes you have health scares and health issues, and it can be a really great learning tool, and can help you maybe find more balance or readjust your priorities. But for me, to maintain my health, it feels very essential to the others, having balance and being there for my family.
100%. I feel like that is so true. And I don't prioritize that. But I think when you're sick, like every time I'm sick, I'm like, I go back to that quote, when you have your health, you have everything.
Yeah.
Because when you're sick, all you want to do is be healthy. Like when you're
Oh,
feeling sick, and I'm the worst sick person, I'm like, it would be better if I just died. Like I can't be feeling this pain and discomfort. I just am not good in it. Like I don't want to
I
sit
know.
in it. I don't want to get through it. I just want to die. And then I'll, spend a couple days like that and then feel better. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should live.
I know. Or like, oh my gosh, it's so good to live. I'm so happy that I'm living now that I don't feel that anymore. I know. And I'm currently dealing with a shoulder issue that's related to a neck issue that I've been working through. And I haven't been able to really move my body much, even like running a little bit. It's like what just moving my arm causes pain. And I have been doing nothing. And I feel out of balance as a result of it. And I also just feel sort of like, ugh, like, I don't know, there is a feeling of vitality when I'm really taking care of myself that I love it. If I walk outside and the sun is shining and I'm like, my body is healthy and it can do anything, I like that feeling, but I haven't been feeling it. And it's been an interesting balance to figure out like, how can I move and still get that sense that I'm caring for my body with while also honoring this injury that I have. And I find myself being very impatient and very not uh, go with the flow with it at all.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry that you're suffering with that because I think that again, that's that whole like when you have your health, you have everything. And
Hmm.
you just take it for granted when everything's working right, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
Which is why would like to be paying more attention to getting the things I need to feel healthy, like more magic, but also dancing. I just don't want to have regrets to be like, oh my God, I really should have been doing A, B, C, and D for the last 20 years. And now I'm dealing with D, F, and G.
Yeah. I hear that.
I know, but whatever.
I found it interesting though. I was like, because fun was sort of like maybe fifth on my list or fourth on my list. And I was like, oh, I'm sort of sad that that doesn't rise to the top, like fun and joy. But then I was like, I think that's actually accurate for my life. I
Well,
think I'd be a lot more unhappy if it was one of my top priorities because I have a lot of fun and a lot of joy, but it doesn't fill my days at the moment. And I'm sort of happy that it's not such a high priority because I think I would feel more out of balance with that.
okay, this is good because this is good for me to relate to in that now fun, I like fun a lot, but joy has a different, it's like fun is enjoy for me.
Hmm.
Joy is in its own category. Like fun, they're the same but different. Do you know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could let go of the word fun, but I can't let go of the word joy because joy comes in a cup.
Right. That's
Okay. But
true.
this isn't necessarily fun. This is joy, this cup of coffee that I made.
That's true.
And joy comes in these glasses. They're also fun, but they bring me joy. But do they
Yeah.
bring me fun?
Yeah.
I mean, I could
Well,
create fun while wearing them, but immediately I have joy with them on.
right. Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? See the difference?
Yes, I absolutely understand it. And I think what's interesting is that I actually like fun. Like I want the experience of fun more than I like to feel content more than joy. And so that was another word but it didn't even rise to the top. But like I think I can find contentment in a cup and
Mm,
contentment in a pair of earrings, a little joy maybe, but yeah, I like the experience of fun. Like let's go do something that feels a little fun
okay.
over
Yeah.
joy.
Well, and maybe that's for me, like if you're doing it like that, I'm like fun sometimes feels like it has to be put on the back burner,
Mhm.
whereas joy can just be incorporated into anything I do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Choose joy, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
Like choose fun is like, oh, well, if I choose real fun.
Right. I may be out of balance in other ways.
Like, how much fun can I choose? Where I'm like, I can choose as much joy as I want,
Yeah.
and it's not going to throw me out of balance. Fun, however.
Knowing your personality, you'll be like, oh, that's fun. More, more, more,
And then
more.
I will be out of balance. But
And-
joy is
and-
like, no, it just keeps filling my cup. Oh, some more joy.
yeah.
Yep, yep. Like I don't think you can overdose on joy, but you could overdose on fun.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
I said we were going to ask you to report back on your intentions for this podcast. Now that you've had a week to sit with it, I'm curious if anything's come up for you.
It's totally selfish. My
Perfect.
reasons. Yeah. Um, because I don't carve out time intentionally. Like I love doing magic and participating in magic and recognizing the magic in my life, but I will quite quickly like trumpet with taking care of my family, walking my dog, taking care of all my work stuff, figuring out how to create passive income for myself, taking care of my dad, touching base with all of my friends. And then I'm like, oh, I don't have time for magic today. So doing this with you is like deliberately weekly, I'm checking in with you and we're talking about what has unfolded in our week and our past that we can identify as a magical experience. And it also is helping me to recognize that stuff so that I can then be like, oh my God, it's like everywhere. It's like that everyday magic thing. And it's already there. And I get a space to like express it. And I think that will just draw more of it into me, all of the things. Because that should, not should, I don't want to should on myself,
Don't shit on
but
yourself.
I don't want to should myself today or ever. However, I would like that magic thing to be higher up on the um, pyramid of importance.
Yeah,
And somehow it does not always make it to the top of that because I'm prioritizing other things. So I feel like this will help like integrate it and then everybody will benefit.
absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that it's so easy to also feel like, oh, I have to like have the conditions just right. I have to be in the mood. I have to set my space up. I have to have enough time where I can do this. And it's like, no, the more that we do this, the more we celebrate all the little magic. It's like wherever you bring your attention is where the energy goes. So if you're paying attention and being grateful for all the little things in your life that are magic, more magic is all around you. You draw more to you.
And I feel like when we do, we like set a candle, like I light a candle. See, look how pretty. We already talked about this. Isn't this pretty? There's a
So
little
pretty.
candle in there.
It's so pretty.
Um, and it seems silly sometimes to me. Like sometimes I'm like, this is so silly that I'm like burning sage and burning. I want to call it Paleo Santa, but tell me the right word. It's not paleo.
I think it's just
Hollow.
Palo Santo,
Hollow Santa, my favorite. Um,
but you call it whatever you want.
I do what I want. Um, anyhow, when I do all those things, it like slows me down. And then it reminds me that there is time for all of this.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah, it doesn't really take that long. And it's taking that breath, and which then brings me into balance in my life.
Yeah.
So that's my intention is like using magic to create more balance and fun.
I love it. That sounds aligned
Yay.
with your values, my values, aligned with my intention. You know what? This is a match made in heaven. I think it's going to work
I
out just
know.
fine. Along those lines, we should take a moment and celebrate something magic from this week and then wrap this sucker up. I had a very healing craniosacral therapy session because I'm working on this neck and shoulder issue.
Mhm.
And I've been working for quite a few weeks now and had a very powerful session where we cleared an injury from lifetimes ago that has clearly been like vibrating at the surface and ready to go. And as a result of it, I've had a lot of realizations and shifts just over the past few days. So I feel very grateful for that experience. And I feel very hopeful that it also will help heal the physical body. And I'm sure I'll talk more about the details in another episode.
Just you wait.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Um, that is pretty phenomenal that you're getting that stuff moving through. I have an awesome experience from this weekend too, because um was time for me to really take the bull by the horns and be the beekeeper I can be. Yeah, but I was so nervous about it because once I got stung in the third eye and it made my entire face swell up.
Oh, can we please put that picture in the show
Let's
notes?
just put a little snippet of that, like flash to that. It was intense.
So
It was so funny. Like I looked so funny. I couldn't stop laughing at myself. But it did create a little bit of fear of my bees, and I didn't have that originally. Like when I started doing beekeeping, I started with this phenomenal woman who has been my guide, and she just went in barehanded. So I was like, oh, we just don't even wear the gloves that I bought. And that's how I started. And I got stung a couple times, but nothing major. And so then she did tell me the bees sting you where you need healing, which is funny that it just targeted that third eye. It's not funny, but I mean, it is funny because I think it's like an opening, like open up to your knowledge, like you're knowing.
right.
We're gonna
Yes.
open you up and make your
We're
face
gonna
get real big.
swell it up real big to begin with so that it can open up.
Yeah, because and bees are, I mean, I can't even go into all the details because I don't remember them, but there's so many, like they're magical creatures. I mean, I'm pretty sure they know all the information about the universe and they just channel it. So anyhow, I had to go in because I let them cross comb in their comb, and I was like, "You can be wild bees if you want." And all the bee people are like, "No, wild bees don't really succeed in the world anymore. Like you have to take care of them now, and help keep like the mites out of them and all these things." So I had to straighten them out. But I was nervous about it because I've done this several times. This is my fourth year of owning bees, and I've never on purpose harvested honey because it has been such a, pardon my French, shit show every time I go in there. And many bees have died. So,
Yeah.
and I hate killing bees.
Yeah.
So it's never on purpose, but they just like, you open them up and you cut it and it's messy and there's honey dripping everywhere and they're like drowning in honey. And then they get angry at you. So I had to say a little like, I just said communicated with them in my mind. I'm coming in there to do my best to get you guys housed. So I had two in a new house. So I had two separate hives in one box. It's a long hive. So it's long and Steve made them for me and it's divided in the middle and there was two hives and one on each side. So I was going to take the swarm that I caught and put them in a new box because they'd come. Anyway, was nervous about it. Steve was not. He came in and like just did his work. He just had bees all over him. They were so calm. Like my bees were like, okay, so sure, rubber band that comb to that frame, bring that with us. Let's pack our bags. Okay, we're moving over here now. Great. I mean, they were
Because
so
you
good.
told them. You told
I
them what to
know.
expect.
And hardly any bees died. And I was calm. I was
You
a
were
little,
calm.
I had to like, I did confess to Steve, I'm really nervous. I did have an EpiPen by me just in case. But I don't think I'm that allergic. My blood work revealed I'm a little bit allergic, but I think Carol, my bee lady, was like, you know, if your throat starts to close up, you're allergic. But if you're just swelling, it's your immune system working, saying and integrating this very important bee venom. I mean, that's why I'm healthy.
That's right. That's why you're healthy. I love that story so much. And I feel like, just such growth over the years of working with them and so much you've learned and how much more respect you're coming to them. Not that you didn't respect them before, but you're like, oh, I really can communicate with them and let them know I don't mean to hurt them. I can calm them down. Like
I can zen with them. I'm ready to zen with you.
you're mastering, you're like communing with them. I love
And
that.
the queen even let me find her. Well, one is not, one is in hiding still, but I did find, and she was so beautiful. I was so excited when I saw her, and she's so big. She's got that big old butt. She's like, I'm gonna produce millions of babies. I am your queen. She is acting.
Fertile. Well, one time I got stung. It seems like a place that I really didn't need to be stung. It was inside of my nostril.
That is strange. What do you need healed in your nose?
I was running, nor was a
Oh,
baby. I was running and it
you said.
flew by and I sucked it in and it stung me right inside the nostril and then I shot it out. And then I had to go all the way back to the end of the trail, meet Paul. We had to drive home for him to get the stinger out. It was like my face was just running with fluids from
Ouch.
all of it. So I don't know what I needed to heal there. I felt really bad for the bee though. It wasn't its fault.
That's the thing about like the difference between wasps and bees. You can get like a million wasp stings and not a million, 12, however many they want to sting you with, and they don't die. And a bee just sacrifices its life thinking it's defending its hive
I
for
know.
you. They don't really want to sting you. They're actually not interested in it at all. But some of
No.
them are like, I am pissed off now. Like, what are you doing to my hive that I have spent so much time building?
Get me out of your nose. Yes.
Yeah, now I really want to look up from Louisa Hay's book, like what is in your nose that you needed healed?
Yeah. Yeah,
What
we went
nostril did it go up?
it went, I believe, up my left nostril.
I wonder if she gets specific in the book, like left nostril injuries.
Okay, well, I love that magic and I cannot wait to see what else happens with those bees this year.
Well, thank you. Should we exit the vortex? It's really bright when it come
Woo!
out.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up, but we just want to call back to one of my favorite lines that you said in last week's episode that I don't think I will ever let die now. Do you remember what it was?
I'm gonna hitch my wagon to a rainbow or hitch your wagon.
It's your wagon to a rainbow.
I'm gonna hitch our wagons to a rainbow.
All
But
right.
yeah,
So I
okay.
hope everybody has a great week and hitch that wagon to a rainbow.
Dang it. Yes, please.